Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as the one-handed mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Working on a John Deere D160, and today we are going to put a new mower deck belt on. Let's go ahead and look at the tools we need today. Okay, tools we need today: 1/4 inch ratchet. I always use a 3/8 inch ratchet. I'm going to use today. Pry bar is helpful to help you with the mower deck, getting it back up in a position. Pair of needle nose pliers, an extension that's a 3/8 extension, a 10mm socket, 13mm socket may or may not be needed. 15mm socket, 10mm socket, a 1/4 inch drive. They're two different drives. Yeah, 3/8 ratchet, 1/4 inch ratchet. This is for you guys at home. I'm going to be using the electric tools. And extension if needed, 15mm wrench, and the belt for the 48-inch edge mower deck on the D160. This is a GX21833. I would definitely suggest taking the model number off your machine and calling up John Deere or going online on the John Deere website. Make sure you get the correct belt for your tractor. This is good for the 48-inch edge on the D160, but just make sure, double check it. Don't just assume that this is the right belt for your tractor. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is get the mower deck off. Okay, standing on the left-hand side of the mower, you want to put the mower deck adjustment lever all the way down. We're going to go ahead and take the mower deck off. Now there's a couple different ways you can take off this mower deck belt. The spring tension is not crazy, so a lot of guys will just roll this right off the front of the engine pulley. I'm gonna take it a little bit easier because I don't want anybody getting their fingers pinched. And so if you have a 15mm wrench and you put it on the idler pulley that actually moves, all you gotta do is pull the belt. You can see which idler pulley moves. Put your wrench on it, pull it forward, and that relieves all the belt tension. But remember, it's spring loaded, so I'm gonna hold it with my arm like that, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the belt right up the front, piece of cake. Now be careful when you let this back, it's nice and slow until it stops, and take your wrench off. Now that was the hard part. Now the easy part, all you gotta do is take your clips off. I always start with the front bar here, and this is like a butterfly clip. And you can use a pair of pliers, but these sometimes come off pretty easily, just like that. And there's a washer. Now, if there's tension, like there's tension on this right now, that's a whole lot. It's not just going to easily come out. This is where the pry bar comes in handy. Now, I don't have it on me, but put your pry bar underneath the front of your mower deck and just pry up on it. I'm going to use my arm. I'm going to lift up a little bit, and now it's wiggling, and it comes right out. Just be careful. If you're using a pry bar, you don't have to worry about it, but if your finger's under there, you want to get them pinched. Now, this is going to just dangle here. I'm not going to be doing anything but this job, so I'm going to leave this here. The reason why I say that, if you're going to be taking the mower deck off for a long period of time and driving the tractor around, you may want to take this out of the front so you don't jackknife it and so it doesn't get bent. So you come back to the arm. There's an arm here that actually holds the center up. So you're going to pull your pin. Now remember to put the pin in from front to back, okay? Just so if it's in this way, now we do all of our driving is mostly forward. So if the pin's this way and you hit something, it'll actually push it in and it'll lock itself. If the pin's in this way and you hit something with the pin, it'll actually push it out and the arm can drop. So just when you put it back together again, just make sure and I'm gonna show you anyway, just make sure it's in that way. You're gonna have a washer here, make sure you don't lose them. And the arm should come off. You may have to wiggle and jiggle it, but it should come down. And then you're gonna go to the rear bracket, which is here. And the easy way of getting these pins off, they're big pins, just turn them sideways like that and pull them straight up, pull the washer off. And again, feel if there's tension. This doesn't feel like there's any tension on it, so I don't have to lift the mower deck up. It should just pop off, okay? Turn it 90 degrees and it'll come out. Just like a little oval right there, a little oval puzzle shape. Put it in 90, flip it around. Make sure that these are facing rearward when you put it back together again. Okay, so now we have to go to the other side. And again, we have the clip pin here. Okay, so we're gonna pull that out. I put my thumb on the end of it and then I push out the arm and then let it down, and I have the washer in my hand. Back to this guy here. Turn it sideways, push this up, comes out. There's a washer here. Now this one feels, yeah, it's a little snug. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna lift up on the mower deck a little bit, and then it'll come out. Turn that sideways, 90 degrees, bring it out. Now we should be able to slide this mower deck out. Just like so. Okay, so we have the new belt. This is a new belt here. Always, when you take the old belt off, make sure you match it up with the new belt just to make sure you're in the right range. And we'll do this from the front of the mower deck here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the covers. 10mm socket will take off the bolts. When you put these back on again, you don't want to tighten them. You want to just make sure that they're snug against the plastic. If you tighten them too tight, you can actually break the plastic. Don't lose all your hardware. Just push this off to the side. This is when you should clean your mower deck of all the debris and grass. And then you also have grease fittings on these, and I would definitely suggest greasing them while you're here. All right, we're gonna take the other cover off the other side. Okay, again, take the debris out. All right, I'm gonna flip the arms back so we can get to this a little better. Now, we have to get this belt out of here, which is a 15mm. We have to get it out of here. 15mm, we have to get it out of here. And also this has to come off. Now with this bracket here, I just loosen up the one side and then take off the other. So it'll pivot out of the way. So loosen up this guy. And then we'll take this one off. Okay, so I'll just slide it off to the side just like that. I'm going to use a little bit larger of my impact here to take off these. Now, you don't have to take these all the way off. If you just take them, you can with the ratchet, you don't have to take them all the way off. You just have to get them up high enough. Now, they're not, as long as you get this up high enough to where the belt will come off. Don't have to take them all the way off. Put that out of the way. This guy will come up. Just sneak it up out of there. Again, this guy's there. This guy here. And up. Sneak it up out of there. Like that. And the belt will come off. This is a very long belt. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down on the ground here. And the new belt is right here. I just like to get them at least close. Now the old belt's going to be stretched. The old belt was definitely worn. You're gonna have to untwangle them, I guess. All right, and then you can either do it with your feet. Make sure they're pretty darn close, and this one is really close. I have the right belt. Come back down to your mower deck. Fish it around that one there. It's gonna come around the back. Always remember that usually in the back, they're gonna come straight across from the back. This is the blade hub here and a blade hub here. And they usually wrap around, they go straight across. This one goes this way. And then this guy goes around here like this. This one's gonna go. Now remember, the flat edge of the belt goes around the flat side of a pulley. If the pulley shows a V, like this one here, it's a V. The V part goes in the V. And the flat part here goes into the flat part. Move this guy up a little bit. Goes in the flat part like that. And this guy comes down here like this. And the V comes around here like that. And so what you're doing is you're just lining this all up to go to the front of your engine pulley, which is here. So that is exactly how it came off. If you have a broken belt and you're wondering how it goes on, well, obviously you have this video, but you can also go to the John Deere website and it'll show you on a parts breakdown. If you look up your belt, it'll show you in a diagram how it looks, because it'll show this. You'll see it, not with all the pulleys, but you'll see the belt. Now just remember, everything's got to fit down on each other again, and you got to get everything tightened up. Put my 10mm, tighten that guy up there. Sure everything spins as it should. You just want to snug them up. All these nuts right here have locking tabs in them. They're nylon locking nuts. So really all you need to do is just snug them up. Make sure everything spins as they should. And like I said, go ahead and grease all your pulleys right now with the grease fittings if you have a grease gun. Now you can wait to put the covers on until after you put the belt on the engine pulley underneath the mower, or you can put them on now. And the reason why I'm holding it taut is because normally the belt guides, these are actually covers that are also belt guides, all right? Belt guide will keep the belt on. So if you put your cover back on, it should hold that belt in the correct spot, but don't rely on that. Make sure you look inside to make sure that you're on the V's of the pulleys after you get this all put on. And when you get the belt tension on the engine pulley, you're gonna notice that there is tension. If there's no tension, well, obviously it's not on a pulley. Just snugging that up. You don't want to go too tight on that. Make sure it's snug. Okay. Okay, so once they're snugged up, just double check again. Like I said, make sure they're in the V of the pulleys. Everything looks good. We are going to go ahead and slide this back under. Now, before you slide it under, make sure you fold your arms forward again, because if you don't, you'll be sliding it back and putting them forward, because you can't roll them up. You can't put them forward after they're underneath the machine. I just try to line up my front right here with my arm here, and I'll put that in first. Now, since we're on this side, I'm gonna go around and go ahead and put that clip pin in right now. I just don't want it popping off when we do the other side. So the washer goes on, and then I'm gonna put the pin in from the forward to the rear, so it has no chance of popping out while we're moving forward. I'm gonna go back around and put the arms on the other side. Let me go ahead and lift this one up. Now, it's not coming up right, so you have to pull the motor deck out a little bit until it lines up. Now this one slid right on. Sometimes you have to pick up the mower deck, put the washer on. Make sure your pin is facing rearward, like that, okay? And then the rear adjuster. Now, I make it a habit of putting R and L. As you can see, I wrote R in here, because as you're sitting on the tractor, this is the right side. When you level the mower decks, you can change the deck level by swapping these out by accident. So it's a good habit to get into. Just put R and an L on it so you know what side they go on. So when you put them on, it'll be pretty darn close to where it would have been. Make sure that these are facing rearward, these little U-shape. You're gonna put a 90-degree on this, slide it in the hole, up top like that. Now, this one here is not going on all the way because we have to raise the mower deck. So this is where you can either use your screwdriver, your large pry bar, or you pick up on the rear, right like that, and it just slipped on. It wasn't that far off. Some of them, depending on how people adjust their mower decks, can be really far off, and you have to lift up the mower deck a lot. All right, so pin down on there. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so the same thing over here. Now this arm is not lined up, so I'm gonna maneuver the mower deck a little bit back. Like so, right there. Just click on. Washer. Clevis pin facing rearward. Like that. Your other deck adjuster hanger. 90 degrees. Up. That one slid on. Didn't have to pick up the mower deck or anything. And find the hole on top there. There it is. Okay. So this is where we need to put the mower deck belt back on again. I'm gonna go ahead and use my 15mm on this bolt the arm that moves, that's the one you wanna put it on. And you're gonna pull this forward, like so. And I'm gonna use my one arm to hold it, and then I'm just gonna put the mower deck belt on. All right, like that. Let it go. You wanna make sure that you check all your pulleys. Make sure nothing's rubbing. Make sure you're on your V's. Everything's on the flat idlers. Go underneath here, check underneath here. With the flashlight if you need to. Just make sure everything is running around as it should. And then we're gonna go ahead and take this out, run it. Make sure the belt's running good. Make sure nothing's coming off. And then we're gonna do a tire pressure, and then we're gonna level the deck. I'm also gonna have I have how to do a mower deck adjustment, which will work on this one also, and I'll put that in the link in the description below also for you on how to adjust the deck level. So that pretty much sums it up for how to put a mower deck belt on a 48-inch edge mower deck. D160 John Deere tractor. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and tell your friends, and I'll catch you on the next one.